Hello, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with Exile Magpie.
Hello.
Still here.
Yes.
Yeah, still doing it. Not a lot of news, although there was the showcase.
There was the PlayStation showcase, which was.
I
wouldn't say it's like the most amazing things happened, but it was okay.
It was okay, but we'll get to
better
that
than
one.
average. Easily.
We'll get to that when we get there. First off, we will start with we'll start with the Apple and Epic lawsuit that's been going on.
Yes.
So
even if we can't really,
has it come to an end? Is it finished?
No, Epic is appealing the decision, which is why when people go on about Apple lost, it's kind of not correct.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because from the way I've read it, Epic pretty much lost on all but one thing.
Yeah, that's what I read.
But the one thing that Apple lost on is pretty big.
It's a big
because it's basically saying that Apple should allow third parties who use the
to be able to
iOS,
directly
to be able to that they don't have to use Apple's own store for purchasing stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else is like Epic, like Apple were in their right to kick Epic off the store. That they were right to do blah blah blah.
I mean,
blah.
if I'm honest, the whole thing's a farce.
Yes.
To be fair.
And Epic trying to make themselves again look like the good guys, and it's like, no, you're not.
Oh god, the comparing it to the Martin Luther King march on the the civil rights movement, comparing it to the civil rights movement,
the meaning of the Apple advert, like,
oh my god,
honest to God, look, get your head out your ass, please.
Man, look, okay, you're not the big dog in the fight. But you're not exactly a small dog.
You're not exactly the underdog here, okay? You're a multi-billion-dollar corporation as well.
That's only getting more and more money.
Yeah. So, go F yourself trying to make yourself like standing up for the little man. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you or did you not just rip from Among Us?
Yeah.
Very recently?
Yeah, like you did.
So, you're just as bad as Apple. That's plain it. That's basically it. So
I'd love to go into more detail about this, but
it's a lot of lawyer speak.
Not,
and there are people much more better qualified to explain. The actual intricacies of
the main thing is obviously Apple having to let third party be able to
directly sell to the customer instead of having to do it through Apple Store.
That's the big thing. That's a bit. I actually think that's a good thing.
Yes, that is a good thing for the independent and for the smaller companies that have to go through Apple and don't have the masses of money that Epic have to be able to launch their own, mobile store, which is what they're going to do. And obviously, they basically said, you signed a contract with Apple, you broke that contract, they were allowed to kick you off the platform. So that's pretty much
that's the
gist. That is the level that we can get to. You want more in depth and more critical critique of the results and find someone else, because we are no help.
No, we are not.
We are at our limits. We are at our technical limit of this thing.
We're not smart enough. For
all we know is like that's the sort of thing that happened, and Epic are appealing the result over it. So which is not what you.
That's the other thing. I've seen a lot of people going, "Oh, Epic lost," and "Oh, Apple lost," or "Epic lost," and I'm just sort of like,
neither of them won. And neither of them lost, really. There wasn't like a major seismic shift in the mobile market.
I think you were right. Like, the person who got hit the hardest was probably Apple.
Yes,
Apple's the one that's been hit the hardest.
Yeah, because.
But I wouldn't say it was like a knockout blow
No.
or anything like that. But yeah, there's no sort of like winner here or loser.
No, there is not. Is
It's just two big corporations punching each other.
Yes,
that's all this is.
Pretty much. And one pretending
to be like, oh, we're one with the people.
We're one with the people. We're for the little guy.
We're for the gamers out there. Yeah, we're for the gamers. Yeah, of course you are.
Now spend your money on our battle pass.
Okay, so we go from that into another. It just feels like we're reading more and more of this every other week. But another company has been accused of mistreatment of their staff, and that is Paradox.
Yep.
Is it Paradox Entertainment, or is it just
Paradox?
It's
Paradox Entertainment. So
union...
it's not just American companies that are.
Oh yeah. Well, Ubisoft's not American.
True, it's French, but still.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, with a lot of the big stuff that it's come. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Paradox. I mean, now I'm a fan of their games, but I'm literally like, God.
I'm not surprised. This is the thing, though. This is how bad it is.
We're disappointed, but we're not surprised.
Yeah, it's not surprising that it happens.
That like the major the major big labeled companies treat their staff like shit.
Yeah.
And this is another one where it's just, harassment, abuse of power. The staff who are on the lower rungs don't believe in the disciplinary procedures to have any sort of to go to call out any abuse that happens. They don't like that. Yes, I understand the whole process of disciplinary procedures. Not everything should be put out in the open, even in a company level. I understand that. But when there are certain things like abuse of power and harassment of staff and overworking and etc., when nothing seems to be when it's seen that nothing is actually done, it basically just stops one instance of that stops 10 people coming forward. Yeah. Basically, in a sense. It has such a damaging effect on people's confidence in your discipline procedures, and basically makes people believe that no, this person or people like him, they're friends with the higher ups and they get to do whatever the fuck they want. And now one of the CEOs has recently left, and she was made aware of this report, so I don't know whether or not she's decided to jump ship sort of thing before it sinks, or if she was told to leave because potentially she's partially responsible. I don't know. We don't know any details. And again, they've gone, we're going to bring a third party into this to help us.
Yeah. The usual corporate thing.
Yeah, it is the usual spiel that comes out. And again, I'm literally look, I don't care. I want to see actual fucking change. I want to see an actual, I want the staff to come back, and basically say, yeah, things have changed. I want them to say that, yeah, our concerns are put forward and actually dealt with, and, and in a timely manner, not 2 years down the line.
Not after a nice montage video and...
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm waiting for that for BlizzCon, where... the next BlizzCon, when we get this montage of this is all the good things ever did, and then a little bit in the middle of all the bad things from all we get is the news articles. Yeah, we just get the news headlines, right? We'll get that, and then at the end, but we've changed now. We're different, and then we see smiley people in offices and stuff.
Bobby Kotick.
I know we moved on to Blizzard now, but I was just instantly going this just smells like Blizzard.
Yeah, it's literally here's the thing. It's it's another I know I said it a few weeks ago, but every single one of them in the AAA game industry. Every single one of them. From your CD Projekt Reds to EA's.
Well, even you don't. I wouldn't say Paradox is a AAA. I would say.
Yeah. I mean, they are, in a sense, I would say they're niche because they do mostly strategy, and Gran strategy is what they're mostly known for. But they've published enough of like really, really popular games. And again, they are into a more niche thing, but they've done like your city builders and that. They're the only ones that are doing that, and so I would class them as like they're what like THQ used to be when THQ used to be good.
Okay.
So in a sense, like they're one of they're a AAA, but they're not on the same level as Activision or blah blah.
Okay.
But they basically do their own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, every single company in the AAA game industry, every last one of them, from your EAs to your Take-Two to CD Projekt Red to Paradox, like all of them.
Yeah, they just all seem to be the same.
Just investigate the whole fucking lot, because
that includes Sony.
That includes Sony and Microsoft. For it to be this bad, and we all know, constantly, and we all know, like they're all chummy with each other.
Well, somewhat.
Mostly they are. Like you can tell the CEOs get together at some point and have a fucking
have a party.
Yeah.
In penguin suits.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and just basically go off, basically have a competition of who fucked over what workforce the most.
Who can fire the more people.
Yeah. That's easy. Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
He's got to get his...
Because he has to.
He has to get his $150 bonus. That joke will never die. I don't care if the horse is dead, buried, and then reincarnated, killed, buried, and dead again. We're using that joke.
Just to go into just a little bit of detail about the whole Paradox thing. So basically, a Swedish tech magazine called Break It released a story saying that they talked to around about
a third of the staff.
A third of the staff, and 44, so almost half of that of who they talked to have all said that they have experienced some form of mistreatment.
So, I can instantly tell you this. The corpos, the PR department of Paradox, would like to turn this around and go, well, that's only half of a third of the workforce. Everyone else is really happy. I look at it upon this way. If someone is unwilling or does not want to fill in a survey, that is a negative reflection on the company. Or where they work. That is a negative reflection, because they don't think that the survey will have any impact on the way their work is treated.
Yeah.
How they're treated and how their work is like dealt with and blah blah blah. Therefore, I would argue that over half the workforce are not happy.
I would say that.
Right? Maybe they don't suffer from like the abuse that's been done in the survey. Maybe they're not harassed like they've done in the survey has shown. But they probably witness stuff like that. They probably are aware of stuff that goes on and are aware that nothing gets done about it. And that's not a nice feeling. So yes. It's only a third of the workforce, but that means 2/3 of the workforce did not think the survey would do any good, and that's never a good look. It's never a good look at all, ever. And I just wish some people would actually think like that when it comes to surveys, because the place where I work, when they have our surveys, and they go, "Oh well, if you don't voice your opinion, nothing will be done about it." No, them not answering the survey is them voicing their fucking opinion, because they don't think the survey will do jack shit.
Yeah, the same's at my work. We get the same stuff. It's just like, we won't know if there's any problems. But you don't. We tell you your problems, but you don't do anything about them.
Yeah, we literally tell you the problems.
We tell you all the time, but you don't do anything about them. So what's us writing them down on a piece of paper going to do?
well, if 98% of the workforce goes, yeah, this is a problem, they have to then do something. That's the whole thing about it. But like, yeah, I understand why people in workplaces don't fill in the work surveys how well their work's going, because they don't believe anything they say is going to actually be dealt with, and they're worried if they put certain things in that they'll be singled out.
Yeah.
So yes, if a person doesn't fill in a survey for their work, that's a negative. There's no positive in that. Anywho, back to.
So. Yeah. All I can find for Paradox, well, basically like a statement. All I can find is them basically saying that they're going to be bringing in a third party to do another survey, but they are going to be working with the unions.
Yes, because they're in Europe, there is unions, and therefore it's a little bit better.
They're going to be working with the unions to take appropriate action, basically. Yeah. That's all that's been said.
And
it's not been really
the fact that there's been a change in leadership before this came out, I give the new person in charge, because obviously it hasn't gone into the details of like who has been in who is responsible for like discipline and who's been causing the harassment, blah blah. Because it doesn't say that, I'm gonna have to give the new guy or lady the benefit of the doubt, and basically go like, this is your one and only chance. You fucking fix this.
Yeah.
Obviously, if news then comes out that this person is partially responsible for what's been going on, then obviously that'll change, and my opinion will change with it. But because we haven't got details,
we don't really know anything other than
this is, in a sense, it is like Blizzard. It is like Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, but in another sense, it isn't, because it doesn't have as much detail that we got with the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's the case of like, or Ubisoft, like, there's not enough details and names haven't been mentioned. Therefore, we kind of can't just jump onto these are guilty, wagons yet.
Okay.
So I hope they fix it. They need to fix it, because enough of this shit. And hopefully, and this is the thing, like, this is not going to be the last. I don't think. I think this is going to keep going and going and going,
we're gonna find
because the more that come out of these stories coming out, and the more the community supporting the side of the harassed and that vocally, anyone that is on YouTube, on the social medias and that, but basically coming out and saying, yes, this is wrong, we support you for standing up for yourselves, and like saying that like, this is wrong, don't, the company should be doing better, etc, etc, etc. The more you do that, the more people are confident that they're not going to be shunned, they're not going to be thrown away, and we just need to keep the pressure on the AAA gaming industry. We just need to, because we know if we don't, they're going to go back to what they were doing before.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to go that way anyway.
They're going to try.
They're going to do that. They're going to do what they
They're going to try,
which is like, look over here. Look
at this lovely window we've dressed.
Yeah, look. You've not addressed any of the problems. Yeah, but look at the windows, all nice and clean. But the building's falling apart. But the window's clean.
The window's clean, yes, but your
foundation
is on fire. But the window's clean, yes, but the foundation that the building is of, that your window is a part of, is on fire.
Don't look at the fire. Look at the window. You're just supposed to look at the window.
I'm pretty sure that is. We've just made a metaphor of every single Madden game for the last 5 years at least.
I think
Maybe
we've made
more.
a metaphor for every EA game for the last 10 years.
Yes, that's very true.
Just look at the window. Don't look beyond.
Don't look
at the shiny.
Don't look at the game engine foundations of the game that is clearly not working.
Oh my God, Madden, man. Why is there a house in the middle of the field? How does that even get past quality control?
How does, when you sim a match, does your team, how does it get passed onto a launch game when you sim a match and your team scores 14 points,
how do you still lose?
and your opposition scores 7, and the full-time result is 7-0 to the opposition team. How does that get past quality control? I'm beginning to think EA doesn't have one. I mean, it would explain.
Anthem got out the door somehow, so
it would explain. You know, here's the thing, right? And I don't know if they don't have a quality control part, or they have a small quality control and they just fucking ignore them, which is, you know, either one is possibly believable nowadays.
Yeah.
But like, that's the only way I can think of that these games come out with these issues. Like, for example, a house spawning in the middle of a pitch during an NFL game.
How does that happen? Oh my god! By the way, we have watched Angry Joe's review
of Madden NFL 2022.
If you've not watched it, you should go watch it. It is very funny, even though like you can clearly tell he's not very happy.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I kind of feel sorry because he's a massive NFL fan.
Yeah,
he's a massive NFL fan, and
hey, look,
the fact that there isn't anyone else
for the people who like playing like games that are to do with NFL, like I feel bad for them
because they've got nothing else.
Because they've only got garbage.
Yeah, they've only got Madden at the moment. I mean, I think there's a new game being developed at the moment, which may show promise because it's from basically they focus mostly on simulation and also like fluid contact sort of thing. So like what the old 2K Madden 2K NFL 2K games used to do. So potentially
EA will just kill that. They'll do something to just.
Oh, that's easy. They'll just go Ultimate Team. To be perfectly honest, right? Ultimate Team is a fucking toxic poison.
It's $14 for green.
Yes. $14 for green. Why? Who the fuck agrees who the fuck looks at that and goes, yeah, that's a decent colour. That's a decent
That's decent. Green. You know, every other game in the entire universe gives you green for free.
Gives you colours for free. Yeah, they may actually charge you for like the patterns, but like the actual colours, it's like, yeah, just pick the colour. Who buys this? Like, I'm gonna say this right now. Anyone who shovels Ultimate Team in any mode, you're the problem.
Yeah, I think anybody
I know we've gone from, but we've come to the end of the Paradox harassment because
and we're just this is a nice little segue into the Sony conference. I think anyone who is, and this is anyone on YouTube, anyone who is peddling that Ultimate Team stuff because their audiences are kids, because Ultimate Team is directed at kids. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
that stuff's directed at kids.
FIFA Ultimate Team is aimed at kids. Madden Ultimate Team is aimed at kids, and whatever other game mode has Ultimate Team, is aimed at children because they want the Lionel Messis. They want the
Cristiano Ronaldo.
They want the Cristiano Ronaldo. They want the Tom Brady.
He scored twice against us there at the weekend. Cheers, Cristiano. Like we don't have it bad enough, do we?
I mean, I'm just happy he only scored 2 and not more.
I'm quite happy that we kept it below 5.
It's bad for being a Newcastle United fan. It really is.
It's not a good time.
I mean, you know, it's bad enough that your team's not great, but then you have an owner that really doesn't give a shit. Yeah. And then you have you have a league that is actively going. Trying to kill you. You have a league that is actively trying to screw your club over, and then you have the media that is literally like telling us that we don't know how good we don't know how good we've got it. We're self-entitled, and then we've got the referees looking against us because they can't even use VAR properly. My biggest thing is the media. The media is like, oh, you Newcastle fans are entitled, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, we're not. We're not asking for fucking second place. We're asking for a team that just wants to try.
Yeah, we want to actually look like we're trying to get into Europe.
Yeah, we want a team that, you know, goes out on the pitch and goes out and tries and plays, and, you know, and I'm not saying the players aren't trying. I'm just saying the club as a whole has no ambition.
Yeah, because we barely buy any players now. We buy like maybe one every 2 transfer windows.
It's literally like 17th is good enough.
Yeah.
The bare minimum is.
We didn't get relegated. Good season, guys. That's the club though. That's not.
Leicester City fans like that? No, should they? West Ham fans wouldn't put up with that. Leicester City fans wouldn't put up with that. Tottenham fans definitely fucking won't. Arsenal fans, dear fucking God, can you imagine having to say to an Arsenal fan, "Oh, be happy with 17th"? They fucking take your head off.
You're losing all the time, Arsenal. You don't know how good you've got it, mate. You don't know. You're perfectly fine. You're in the green.
There'd be a riot. But no, because we're fucking Newcastle and we're all the way up fucking north, and all the London teams have to trek all the way up north once a fucking year. Well, Newcastle has to go down to London about 5 fucking times.
I know we've like completely tangented into football now, but this is my thing with the whole thing of like, especially the London clubs that I don't even like Arsenal and Tottenham and that, and they all go, "Oh, we've got to go all the way up to Newcastle like once a year." I never hear you complain when you have to travel to fucking Turkey to play in the Champions League.
To play Galatasaray. Or even better, go to fucking Moscow to play Lokomotiv.
Yeah.
You don't complain about that. But no. Travelling all the way up to Newcastle is such a hard fucking thing to do. Once a fucking season. While Newcastle have to go down to Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea.
And that's 4 teams.
That's 4. That's
almost a quarter of the league. and there's more down there, which is lovely. Yeah. By the way, we're football fans. Just in case you didn't know.
I know we've tangented all massively, but it's like
it's going to make the channel a bit longer, so that's fine. But yeah, like any person who supports a team wants to turn around to me and say, because I'm a Newcastle fan, you don't know how good you've got it. You shouldn't be complaining.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? If a Darlington fan... Is it Darlington? I want to say Darlington. You know the club that went under?
Yeah, it might have been Darlington.
You know, if they went and you don't know how good it's got... I've got okay, you guys have got a Burnley. If a Burnley fan came to me and went, I don't know how good I've got, I can understand it, because their club has literally gone under. I understand that, like, we're not the worst case scenario.
If a Portsmouth fan came to me and said,
"You don't know how."
Hell, even if a Sunderland fan, always on that edge.
Yeah, or if a Sunderland fan.
No. Sunderland aren't allowed to. No, Sunderland aren't allowed to.
I'm just saying, like, they got relegated twice in 2 years.
No.
And then you know, basically.
The thing with Sunderland is what happened to them was their own bloody fault.
Yes.
They're the ones that agreed to those stupid prices, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, we'll pay you over 7 seasons." So they ended up in so much debt that they couldn't even afford.
At one point, they were paying for like 5 players that were no longer on their books.
Yeah, and they couldn't afford. Yeah, no, they weren't even. They weren't on the bridge, and they weren't even paying the actual price. They were paying the interest. That's all they were paying.
God, oh dear. Anyway,
if you let your club get into that state, it's your own bloody fault.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel bad for the fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. If a freaking board member...
I'm still not letting a Sunderland fan tell me
Anyway, rant over Newcastle and blah 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 and Premier League football, because the Premier League sucks ass.
Warhammer 40k. This is a complete 180. Eternal Crusade no longer playable in any form.
Oh.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
Oh dear.
I didn't even know this was a thing. It has been... Okay, after a mixed run since its release in September 2016, so it's only been out like 5 years.
Yeah, well, the promotion wasn't great. I don't think the game was actually that good at
I didn't even know this existed until the beginning of this year.
Yeah, wasn't it like not an MMO, but like a multi...
It's like
massive battle multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think, right, Eternal Crusade was supposed to be an MMO.
Okay, right. It was an online third-person shooter in which players could take on different races from the Warhammer 40k universe. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, I could be wrong here, but if I remember correctly, it was originally touted to be like an MMO.
Yeah.
A Warhammer 40k.
If I remember, it was originally supposed to be an MMO, but because of what happened to the Warhammer MMO, they kind of scrapped that.
Yeah. And then they just shoved it into like a third-person
shooter
game, and it just didn't work. So yeah, it deserved to die.
It has died. It is dead. I just thought, you know what? I saw it and I wasn't really paying attention, so I just pressed it to see what it was.
So yeah, they're closing the servers down.
Closing the servers down.
It is
literally
it is now
a dead
game, an actual dead game because you can't play it. And this is why online-only games are not necessarily a good thing. Like, eventually, Fortnite will disappear. And all that money people have spent on Fortnite will go. Yeah. It'll just go away. It'll just disappear.
I don't know. I feel like Fortnite's is going to be the gaming equivalent of The Simpsons. Like, no one's gonna like Fortnite, but it's always gonna be there.
Possibly.
Like no one likes it, but it's there. It's still there.
It's still going.
It's still going.
Despite other games being much more... Yeah. Despite other games being much better than it. But they only get like 3 seasons and they get cancelled because it's not The Simpsons.
Despite the fact that everybody has clearly moved on to other things. No, it's still there. It's not going away. I feel like that's Fortnite now.
Possibly.
That is going to be Fortnite.
The thing is that it'll get to a point where Epic will just pull the plug on it.
I don't think they will. I actually think it's going to go the way of The Simpsons.
You think it's just going to be
it's going to
be that used that much? Yeah, possibly.
No. I just think because of the way Fortnite has come into pop culture.
Yeah.
I think because Fortnite has done that, like, Fortnite's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't think it's going to be like... loads of people.
I mean, to be honest, it would be nice if they stopped fucking up stuff like, I don't know, the Martin Luther King thing.
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
No. That was the worst idea of worst ideas. I mean, the thought of doing that is nice, but no one actually put any thought into the actual implementation. And again, that is the whole thing with the AAA game industry. The actual thing that is shitty is not actually that shitty. It's the implementation by the AAA game.
It's
that is so fucking shit.
It's a good idea executed poorly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Again,
executed really, really poorly. Like, if you took loot boxes, right, and just had it as an in-game reward without having to spend any money on it, that would not be as egregious as what it is. Like, the reason why loot boxes are such a toxic subject right now is because it is literally gambling, because they are forcing people to spend money, and they deliberately twist the chances and the currency value, and how like if there's a way of getting free loot boxes, they twist the like either XP gains or the monetary value of the in-game currency. They twist it to such a way that it takes so fucking long that you just get fed up and go, do you know what, I'm just gonna buy a bunch. And that's what they do. That's how they do it, and that's the shitty thing.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
It is. It's awful.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, the AAA game industry, they just don't think. They're literally the meme. They are literally the meme. Do you ever fucking think?
Think.
Just think. It's the boardroom where they don't have the guy that says, I think this is a bad idea.
Maybe this is a bad idea. The thing is, this one would have been fine. They just needed that guy to be like, yes, this is a good idea, but let's make sure people can't do the floss on the video of Martin Luther King doing his "I have a dream"
Also,
speech.
no one can do a whip motion.
And let's make sure we get rid of the whip emote, and all that sort of stuff.
In the middle in the middle of a museum, in a digital museum dedicated to Martin Luther King
and the civil rights movement. Maybe let's not have the whip thing.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, the permutations of that are. I mean, you can't look at that any other way than it's even worse than that because it's like, that's bad. That's like bad on so many levels.
Literally, all you can do when you see that is go, "Not cool, dude." That's it. You don't do anything else.
No.
You just see that and you just go, "Well, it's been done." Yeah. Somebody's done it.
It's already ruined.
So
you've ruined everything.
You've ruined everything. Congratulations. Just all you've got is "not cool, dude." That's not cool. Come on. What are you doing?
Just look, Epic. Can you start actually, thinking before you implement stuff? Like, I don't know. Maybe it'd be a bad idea if we rip from Among Us and don't put any effort into actually
changing the game,
into putting our own twist in it, and just basically rip it off the entire map layout and everything. I'm sure that won't look bad on us. No, clearly not.
But anyway, Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade gone, kaput.
Not surprised.
But we're going to move on now to the Sony showcase, or the PlayStation showcase.
The Sony PlayStation showcase, and there was some nice stuff.
It was alright. I think for literally me, I'm not going to lie, there was like one, maybe two things. Oh, actually no. Before the Sony showcase. Was the Marvel Sons sort of gameplay reveal thing,
we watched that because
it was on literally before.
Yeah, it was on literally before.
So it was on Twitch. We decided to watch it. The gameplay looks really cool.
Right. This is the thing. When they said it's like XCOM with Marvel, and I was like, okay, you've got me interested, but how will it work? And then they showed the gameplay, and it looks really cool. They have this card-based system for combat with turn-based movement and actions, and they have this like energy that they can like generate, which is heroism or something like that.
Yeah.
And some cards cost heroism. It's the really cool moves.
Yeah, basically like all the special attacks are like cards that you can use. Yeah. You can just like normally attack.
I think like the whole one of the major mechanics they're going for is like the whole chain reaction stuff. So like if you are say Doctor Strange and you levitate someone and throw him into another goon. Levitate one goon and throw him into another goon. Just as an example. Like it does extra damage. And I'm like, okay, so this is like I love strategy games, and this is literally going. There's so many strategy options here. This is my jam. This is my jam.
If this lets me do like double teams and triple teams, I'm down.
And then they showed off how like Wolverine fights. It's pretty cool, and like the scenery interaction is really good.
Also, Sabretooth looks awesome.
He does. He looks
Sabretooth looks awesome.
He is so like they've gone for very, very cartoon like the 90s cartoons and comics.
Yeah.
For the character design.
But apart from because Ghost Rider is like the newer design.
Yeah, because
it's not Johnny.
No, I think it's a lass.
It's something Ricardo.
Oh.
He's a Latino. He's the one with the car.
Yeah.
It's him.
Okay, well that's fine. To be honest, he looks absolutely amazing.
But he looks awesome.
He looks absolutely badass and amazing.
Ghost Rider looks badass.
Yes, okay, I don't care. So this is the thing with Ghost Rider. It's like it doesn't really matter who's Ghost Rider as long as A, he kicks ass, and 2, he's badass.
Yeah.
And he ticks both boxes.
Yeah, he ticks both boxes. Ghost Rider's awesome. I love Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider's amazing.
I'm generally looking at this and I'm like, please give me Moon Knight.
I have a feeling. Here's the thing with all
because you've got a lot of Egyptian sort of stuff going on.
With the whole Egyptian stuff, I'm like, you have to have Moon Knight.
Please have Moon Knight.
It's like this is just screaming for Moon Knight to show up in. It's like, dude, this is my jam. What are you doing? Why didn't you invite me?
Please.
I know
Blade looks awesome.
Oh, Blade looks amazing.
Blade looks awesome.
I think this is the thing. The fact that like Blade's in it. who else do they have? Like
Scarlet Witch looked like she was in it.
Yeah, like there's a couple. Wiccan. Like they have a couple of like the really niche characters in the Marvel universe, and I'm like, okay, so with all this Egyptian iconography, there is they please tell me they have not forgotten about Moon Knight. The thing is that they're saying the roster's going to be really big as well.
I know. So I'll tell you something. If Moon Knight is in this, I'm getting this. I will get this. I love Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is really good.
Moon Knight is like my favorite Marvel character because he is just random as fuck. Yeah. The whole thing about Moon Knight is just like from his original origins in like the 70s to now, everything about him is just pure randomness and just like I hope you've took LSD before you start reading this stuff because like it's the only way you're going to understand anything. Make sure you're on drugs.
I mean, to be honest, his costume is pretty.
And his costume is badass.
His costume is amazing. I love costumes. I love Moon Knight's design. In fact, the vast majority of his designs, even the changes, and I'm like, dude, the dude looks so fucking cool.
He does, doesn't he?
It's like that's all
I'm looking forward to the
like first impression. 9 times out of 10 is formed of how they look for a superhero. Yeah. Like, you know, the original look for sensational She-Hulk, the very tall, muscular, in the skin suit, and I'm like, yeah, I like that.
She looks like she's gonna kick somebody's head off.
Yeah, she does. The fact that she's a Southern belle with a nice attitude as well is just like, oh my god,
that's perfect.
Perfection. Anyway, it looks. I'm looking forward to them like showing. It's one of those where I'm like, I don't want to know all the characters that are going to be in because I want to have like a poggers moment where like one of my favorite characters shows up. Yeah. Like if Colossus and Wolverine together though, they have to have the Speedball special. Yeah. They have to have Colossus picking up Wolverine and throwing him. Yeah, that has to happen. Yeah, it has to. It has to happen. But yeah, like I'm looking for like the whole like the basic storyline is like Lilith is
she's like controlling, like taking people.
Yeah, basically she's corrupting people. Like,
because I think Captain America's like one of the ones
potential. But yeah, but there's also side quests, which means that potentially like some of the fights you're gonna have to get extra characters will be side quests. Yeah. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But also like your like the OC character is Lilith's
like son or daughter.
Son or daughter.
Apparently you can be because apparently you can,
which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. It's perfectly great. However, I'm gonna say the trailer showed the female, so therefore
it's canon.
Female's canon.
Female is the canon.
They showed her in the trailer. Female's canon.
As a comic book fan, yeah, the female is the canon, so I'm going female.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It's just how it is. You showed it in the trailer. If you want, if that's basically it. That's the arbitrary reason I'm going to have, and I'm going to stick with it. But yeah, it looks really, really. I was like semi interested, and like, okay, I'll keep an eye on you because XCOM is. I love XCOM, even though it drives me insane, and I'm a big Marvel fan. I admit it.
I am not.
I mean, granted. If this did not have the X-Men in it, which it looks like it's going to, like if it didn't have the X-Men, I'd be like, okay, fine, you can have your own little thing here, it's fine. I'm not that bothered. But it has, from the looks of it, I mean, Wolverine's combat looks amazing. Wolverine. And the fact that you had him bouncing off all the fucking things and then kicking blocks into enemies and it bouncing off into others, and it's like the environmental combat looks so good.
Like, they've definitely done like a lot.
They've done work on that, and it looks so smooth. Like this is alpha build, and it looks really good. I mean, I've seen beta builds worse than this, so it's looking like we may have another decent Marvel game. Shockingly enough,
Avengers. You know what you did. You know what you did, Avengers.
I'm on about Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's what I'm on about with decent.
No, I'm just being like, you know what you did, Avengers.
Yes.
You were supposed to be good.
You
looked good. And then you get past the tutorial, and then you realise, oh god, this game is awful.
And then you get to the end of the game, and you go, oh god, this is a live service with no end game. I don't want to do Destiny 2 all over again, thank you very much. I've been there. I've done that. It's not fun.
I actually need to get on that just to try out the Wakanda stuff. Because apparently it's free. So.
Yeah.
Need to see if it does do anything better. But anyway, that was the Marvel Suns little gameplay event. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, but yes. I do hope they don't show too many characters. The only thing I do want them to show is Moon Knight.
Yeah,
because
you just want confirmation of Moon Knight. That's all you want.
If they put Moon Knight in, then they've got me.
I would like at least 1 or 2 more X-Men just to confirm that the X-Men are in.
I would like to see maybe Daredevil, and maybe like Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, and a good Iron Fist, because I feel bad for Iron Fist because a lot of the characters get some sort of like good sort of interpretation on the TV and all that sort of stuff. Iron Fist has never had that.
No.
Iron Fist always looks terrible and is always bad.
I mean, even the animated was
the
it Avengers?
He was in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes, that was it. And he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great.
Yeah, he wasn't fantastic. He was like
speaking of Marvel movies, is it Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Rings is actually getting people saying it's good?
See, I've been getting mixed things.
Yes.
I've been finding people saying that like it's bad, and I've been finding people that saying, oh, it's really good. So I'm like, it's in the middle. It's going to be. My opinion is that it's trash, but it's good trash.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies where, like, if you think about the movie, you're going to realise that it's terrible.
Yeah.
But if you just watch the movie...
Anyway, let us move on to the Sony
let's move on to the Sony PlayStation stuff.
So, first things first, they decided to get... To be honest, Sony have a modus operandi with their presentations. They come out they come out and literally unleash a big one at you first.
Yeah.
And then they taper off every now and then. They'll the spike of it. Oh, this is good, and then level off again, and then they finish with the big reveal sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying
to remember. Didn't really happen this time.
I would say they did because they started off with the remake of Knights of the Republic.
Was that the first thing?
That was the first thing, the remake. The announcement for the remake of Knights of the Republic.
Yeah, the actual beginning where we thought the actual beginning that we thought we were getting. It wasn't. It was just things from other games.
Yeah, it was basically just the Sony. It was just Sony. It was Sony being Sony.
It was like this big weird advert that we thought. At the time, I thought it was like DLC for Watch Dogs.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually anything.
It wasn't anything. It was just Sony.
But yeah, the first game shown was the announcement for remake of KOTOR.
That is actually going to be exclusive to PS5,
which is amazing considering KOTOR was a BioWare.
And it was an Xbox exclusive.
And I'm literally like, how the fuck have you pulled that one off?
Yeah, what the...
How the hell? What the... What?
Unless, my thing is
what
maybe...
Jedi mind tricks
I think Sony may have, forked up some money.
For the license, possibly. Especially since EA... have lost the sole exclusivity to Star Wars. So...
Just give it to Blue Point.
And Knights of the KOTOR is a fan favorite. People say it's really, really good. It's proper old school good BioWare.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I regret not having an Xbox 360
to play it.
Yeah.
It is one of those. I'm literally do I have 100 and odd hours to sink into it? Probably not.
Probably not, but it'll be fine.
But I'm sure if pushed to it, I could find the time. So maybe.
Just become a streamer.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Yeah. I think the thing is, because I'm such a massive fanboy of Star Wars, and not just of the movies, I may... Well, if our internet is actually decent at that point, and my PC can handle streaming, maybe.
Maybe.
My PC would need upgrading.
Yeah.
In probably all aspects. Which means that maybe cheaper to buy a new one, but I don't know. I have to do the finances for that. Anywho, from that they went to Project Eve.
That looks awesome.
Which it does look awesome.
That looks awesome. It looks like a Platinum game.
It does. When we first were watching, it was like
we're getting very Bayonetta vibes.
Bayonetta.
And then all of a sudden, what it looks like. This is to me. This is what it looks like. It's got the stylish and slick sort of movement of Bayonetta.
Yeah.
But with possibly maybe a near sort of atmosphere.
Yeah. Because I was definitely getting a mix between Bayonetta and Nier vibes. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's good. Because both are really good at their combat.
Yeah. Well, they're both made by Platinum. So.
That's very true. So yeah, Project Eve is definitely one we have to keep an eye on. It's being made by a South Korean company.
Yeah, South Korean. I think it's their first game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
do you know what? I love having new companies come out all over the world and throwing just release their games and let everyone have a look at them, because that's how you get amazing games. Because there'll be a game that not many people a few people look at and go, I'll pass on that. But actually then people start playing it and go, oh my god, this is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out on that. Following that was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which got a date release.
March 22nd.
March 22nd.
We actually got a little bit of gameplay. We got to see sort of stuff. It's got this kind of weird sort of movement that I noticed. It's got guns, so it's definitely like Borderlands, but it's the swords.
Yeah, there's going to be melee combat.
There's going to be melee combat, and I'm like, ooh.
How's that going to work?
Ooh, is this going to work? But, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it's Borderlands.
It looks alright.
It's Borderlands, which means that it could potentially be really, really good. And also, it's Tiny Tina's D&D.
Yeah, it also sounds like we're going to actually be able to make our own character.
Yeah.
Instead of just having to pick one that's...
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there wasn't anything really new per se that we didn't already know.
Yeah. We saw more butt styling.
Yes.
And Tiny Tina's wearing a hat.
Yes. And Tiny Tina's doing D&D, and I don't care what anyone says. That is amazing. And
the DLC for Borderlands 2?
Yeah.
Or was it 3?
2.
2. The DLC for Borderlands 2 with Tiny Tina is just great.
Yeah. And you can tell that it's being made by D&D fans.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Anyway, on to next was Forspoken. We can't remember what that one was.
Why can't I remember what that was?
Yeah, I'm literally like this.
There's not even that many on the bloody list this time.
No, there isn't. I think the problem was that we started ripping on Rainbow Six afterwards.
Forspoken. I'm just going to have to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll go back to Forspoken, because once we know this, it was one of those that we really...
Forspoken's the Square Enix game.
Yes! Yes, that's what...
She gets isekai'd into the new world.
Yes, into a new world, and she's like this mage thing that is of importance. Like, it's proper isekai.
Yeah.
But it looks really... I love the movement, the way the traversing seems really, really cool. They showed off some combat. It looked really cool. Don't know how it'll exactly play out, but it's a Square Enix game. It looks beautiful. The magic effects are amazing.
Yeah.
And she looks like a badass when she's doing the magic stuff, and that's really all I care about.
I think we saw the villain of the whole game.
Potentially.
Woman,
it is a Square Enix...
The woman on the big throne thing.
Yes, but it is a Square Enix game, therefore, not necessarily.
Sephiroth's going to appear out of nowhere and just...
da, 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 da.
Square Enix love.
Anyway,
Square Enix loves Sephiroth.
Rainbow Six Extraction was then shown. I think it was the same trailer we'd seen before. I don't think it even got a date either.
Look, if I want to see people fight the Foot Clan, or the Putties,
I watch Power Rangers.
I watch Power Rangers
or Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't need to play a game where I'm fighting people who clearly have been ripped from those two series.
In a gameplay style of go get GTFO.
Yeah.
Following that was another actually popular announcement. Alan Wake Remastered.
Oh yes, there was a lot of rumours about this before.
Yeah, I think for about 6 months there's been rumours that the Alan Wake Remaster was in the works, and now we have confirmation.
I thought it was in the works, but I thought it was going to be an Xbox thing.
Yeah,
because Alan Wake was an Xbox.
Yeah, it's another one that I'm like, what Jedi mind trickery have you done to pull this one off? I don't think this is an exclusive to PS5.
I think
Xbox is getting a version as well, which is fine because more people will be able to play it, and that's all that I want the maximum amount of people to play the maximum amount of games.
Yeah,
that's basically what I want, because that means that's the ideal situation.
Although I do want Microsoft to get its ass in gear and start moving with its own exclusives.
Yeah, like, come on, Microsoft.
Come on, I've seen your exclusives. They actually look pretty cool.
You need to show us some more and give us actual timelines, or, I mean, I'm not saying set them in stone. Just give us a inkling of when they're coming out.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Alan Wake Remaster coming out. I do not see that as a bad thing. I'm trying to remember. What was it? A 360 game. Was it a 360 game? Yeah, it was a 360. If it was a 360 game, it's one of those where it's if it was an Xbox One, I'd be on the fence. But then again, it's not just on the Xbox. It's now being released on multiple consoles and probably a PC version as well. Yeah. So it is a case of okay, yeah, I understand that. And yeah, some people will basically eat that up, and it'll be great. Following that was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Again.
It's Skyrim.
I think every Sony showcase now, Grand Theft Auto 5's appeared.
Yes. But okay, so let's be honest here. Grand Theft Auto 5 is getting to the point of Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
And it's being released on everything.
Yeah.
Soon
you'll be able to have it on your fridge.
It is a massive... It's becoming a meme. Stop it. Look, Rockstar, I know you're lazy and you don't give a shit about making another game because you have GTA Online and making all your ridiculous money from it. But... stop it.
Stop it.
But yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. What more can you say?
If you like Grand Theft Auto... here's more Grand Theft Auto.
Like I say, I've not really liked Grand Theft Auto since 4 came out. I'm not saying they're bad games. They are very, 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 very good games. I'm just I feel the Grand Theft Auto games have become too serious in a sense. Vice City and San Andreas they had that right balance of not taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that feeling from either.
It kind of did a Yakuza. So you had
you had some really
your main storyline was pretty serious. It wasn't super serious, but it was pretty serious.
The main storyline was pretty serious, dealing with serious things.
You did have your side stuff that was kind of silly and
and this is a game, guys.
Yeah, this is just a game, so don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I don't get that feeling from. Didn't get that feeling from.
I've not
4,
really,
and I don't get that feeling from 5.
I don't really. I've not liked Rockstar, any Rockstar game, since Vice City. I really haven't. I've just kind of felt all they're doing is just making the map bigger.
Yeah.
Really, all they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like the stories, then go for it. That's on you. But me,
yeah, it's clear that there's something in the Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4 that clearly we miss out on.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. But I just feel like the time spent making a PS3 game working on a PS5 could be spent on making, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Or, I mean, now, this might be pushing the boat out a little bit too much. But just a new game in general.
Yes, you could also do that. But anyway. Following Grand Theft Auto 5 was Ghostwire Tokyo. We had more story trailer.
I think so. I don't know. It was very weird. We just saw a lot of ghosts and yokai.
People were talking.
People were talking at us.
And clearly
one character was screaming a lot.
Yeah, and clearly every single... They've taken every single Japanese ghost story and decided, we're just going to put it in the game.
All the yokai were just going to shove it all in here.
Ghost schoolgirls and...
flaming head wheel things and just...
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to it because
it looks
Tango,
really...
And I like Tango. So Tango Entertainment are good. Evil Within games, I love those too. They're great. Yeah. So I'm waiting for this to come out. I think it's gonna be great. It's right up my alley.
Following that was Guardians of the Galaxy. We didn't get really much new that we didn't see. They did show more of the old members of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
So we got some footage of Cosmo, the dog.
Yeah.
And therefore that instantly makes this game much better now.
Yeah.
It has dog.
The thing for Guardians of the Galaxy, I think they showed us so much for the reveal that I don't think they really need to be showing more.
No,
I
don't
like
think
they show
more. I think what they're showing is stuff to keep it in the
Yeah.
circulation so that people don't forget about it for when it gets released. But it's not going to be that far now. I think it's next month.
Yeah, I think it's
next month or
I think
November.
I think it's November.
So not much longer. Following that was Blood Hunt, the Vampire the Masquerade Battle Royale.
Yeah, which Microsoft... It didn't really show anything more than what Microsoft
nothing
showed.
Really new.
They
showed
the factions.
It showed the factions.
It showed the
pretty
factions.
much the factions that
if you know the factions in Vampire, then
yeah.
it's just them.
Yeah.
I would be a Nosferatu, I've already decided.
Yeah.
I would be a horrible little gremlin thing.
Yeah, that hides in the sewers.
Yeah, that would be me.
Following that was... I think it's the final release trailer for Deathloop, which is out now, I think? Question mark?
I need to get that.
Yeah, nothing new. Still looks pretty darn cool. I still don't know what the hell will happen if you're one kill away from breaking the loop and die.
Well, Friday I will be getting it, so we will find out.
Yes,
we will find out together, because I may actually leave it till we finish Ghost of Tsushima, and then we'll do it. We'll do it together.
Cool. Following that was, I think it's Tichia? TCHIA.
Oh, that's the game from, I think it's Uganda?
Oh, yes!
The Africa...
yes!
It's like their first game studio ever to come from that company.
Yeah.
It's like you can go into animals. And
you can possess animals and do stuff with them. I have to admit, I really like the art style. This and the one in the last show we watched, which was the one from, I think, was it Peru? With the Aztec feel. I love their art styles are so good. So interesting, and they're so vibrant and colourful, and I really, really like it.
I still don't know what it is. I don't know what you're supposed to do. It didn't really.
Yeah, I mean, we had
but
probably a couple of story elements thrown in, but the actual overflowing gameplay loop, wasn't potentially shown.
What I did see looked fun.
It did, yeah. So that's probably something definitely to keep an eye on as well. Following that was the announcement that Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy are getting a PS5 and PC release. So again, they came out on the PS4, but they're coming out on PC as well. So okay, fine.
So it's
getting a release on a different console/computer. So fine. It justifies the.
I don't care about Uncharted, so that's fine.
Next was the teaser trailer for Wolverine.
Yes.
And okay, so basically, it's basically, if you think about it's X-Men First Class, where
no, it's right. The first scene with Wolverine in X-Men, where he's in the bar. Not the first scene, it's the second scene, because the first scene he's in the cage. It's the second scene where he's in the bar, he's just having a drink, and then that guy comes up behind him.
Oh, yes.
It's basically that. All you see is Wolverine's hand, and then his claws kind of come out, and all that sort of stuff. Wolverine doesn't actually say anything, does he?
No.
It's the guy behind him that says everything. This is my. I think because David Hayter.
Yes.
I think he's going for a casting to be Wolverine in
Yes, David Hayter for Wolverine. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually looking at that and being like, okay, you've got my attention.
You have my attention, David.
If you could give me a Wolverine game that's kind of like Spider-Man, the way they did Spider-Man, so like an open worldy sort of thing.
Yeah.
You could give me that, but I'm Wolverine instead. All right.
With the combat mechanics of the last Wolverine game. You know, the one where it was just stealthy. Brutal. No. The one that was based on the movie. X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
So, like, the lunge attack.
Yes. If you could give me that lunge attack, yes. Just give me the lunge attack. Just give me the lunge attack. God, that game was so bad, but it was so cool.
Look, it got what it needed to get right. And that's all that's the thing. Is like, it can be a bad game, but if it's fun, then that's the first thing you need to get right. And it's something like the AAA game industry doesn't understand, I feel. Like, games have to be fun. Why are you making Madden NFL crap and unfun, and FIFA crap and unfun? And why are you making adding all this bullshit into like Ubisoft, like fucking Assassin's Creed?
Why are you turning Assassin's Creed into a fetch quest?
And crap and unfun.
Stop it.
But yeah, like, it's like that. That's the key thing. It's like, you have to make the game fun. If it's not fun, what is the fucking point? And I understand, like, there are some games that aren't necessarily designed to be fun, but like they are doing something. They're not EA's games, and they're not the AAA game industry, because let's all be honest, they don't do anything to send a message. Like, there are games that aren't fun that are done in such a way deliberately for this message of the game plot per se. But anyway, I digress. Following Wolverine, because there wasn't really much, Gran Turismo 7 was finally announced.
Yes. Yes.
I have 6, which is on the PS3. That's how long it's been since an actual, proper, bona fide
Gran Turismo
game. Because the last one was sports, and it's basically you basically had the little sports cars. And that was it. And I'm like, that's not really why I buy Gran Turismo. I buy Gran Turismo to start off with a dilly little car, soup that up, then buy a better car, soup that up, until the point where I'm making so much money in my races that I buy a Dodge Viper and put the gigantic, biggest engine in.
We did, actually, because we did say, we actually got one right. We said Gran Turismo was going to be
we call that shit. Yeah. They did show some customization. It's like, you can actually like put stickers on your cars and that. I'm like, so I'm literally like, can you imagine if you allowed pictures, like actual images that you put on? And then put it in the Mac. Yeah. Like, you basically put stuff on the USB stick. And
if that gets put onto the PC, the modding scene is going to take over that. The amount of VTuber bloody cars you're going to find is going to be ridiculous.
I'm all for that. I don't mind.
Oh no, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with that. All I'm saying is, like, the amount of VTuber stuff you're going to find in that game.
That is not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's great. Yeah, literally, if they allow like any images to be put onto, like, if you have like a USB, put the image on there and you can put it onto. Yeah, it's the game's gonna be full of like the racing scene, like the street racing scene is already like not full, but like you guarantee at least one car with either a Nianas or an Iron Mouse decal on it, and I'm like, dear God, has VTubing got this big? Holy shit!
How has it got this big?
Because they're wholesome. They're so nice.
They're wholesome.
They are. Look, they may not be say-so, but they're wholesome.
No.
That is two separate things, and I refuse to go into the argument of people saying they're not. But anyway, we are digressing. But yeah, there wasn't anything new per se that I saw. That a lot, like, there wasn't a new track shown.
The sort of UI for the way, like, you adjust the wheels and, like,
it looked like it went into a lot more depth.
The way they've done it, it looks a lot the way when we watch F1. The way that is, you know, when you see the screen and they have like the whenever they're like
a lot more
walking
detail.
things,
Yeah,
yeah, you can see
which
like
is
numbers.
is it Yamaguchi? I want to say the director of Polyphony.
I think it's Yamaguchi.
He's
a perfectionist.
He is ridiculous perfectionist. It's like for the first Gran Turismo, he actually recorded actual freaking car sounds for it for a PS1 game.
Yeah,
and it's like his attention to detail is that good. That is that focused. Like when I first saw the first trailer for Gran Turismo 3, I thought I was looking at real life footage, like with through the heat haze and everything. And this is on the PS2, and I'm literally like, how the fuck does he do this? Like it looks gorgeous. I mean, yes, racing games are the easiest to make graphically so nice because there's only a set amount of area the game is covering at any one point. Therefore, you can like throw all the graphical power into this like small area.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Gran Turismo.
Well,
I've got in every single Gran Turismo game apart from Sport since 3.
So every numbered Gran Turismo game
I've got.
Yeah.
And 7 is probably going to not be any different.
Yeah.
So take my excitement with a pinch of salt because I'm a massive fanboy of these games. And again, my sole purpose in those is to basically get enough money to get the fastest car and put the fastest engine in to see which car I can get to go the fastest on the test track. Like that is my sole purpose in that game. Like if I streamed ever, that would be lit. Literally all I do is like, okay guys, look, okay chat, which car are we gonna try and make go as fast as possible? I love doing that. Just shoving in the biggest engine, like weight this to get rid of as much weight as possible and seeing how fast this baby can go. And that's how I have fun in Gran Turismo, and it's great. Anyway, from that we went into Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Now, it had both Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Yes.
Which makes me think, instantly I went, wait, are you going to allow co-op in this?
That would be cool.
Which would be really cool. Because, like, Miles fights differently to Peter. Yeah. They're not carbon copies.
You still need to...
I need to get Miles Morales. I need to get Miles Morales. I need to play it. Because I enjoyed Spider-Man so much.
They showed off, well, what we assume is the main villain for this one will be Venom.
Venom was introduced, and I'm
apparently the voice actor for Venom is basically because the release all we got for a release date was 2023.
Yeah.
Apparently it's going to take that long because apparently the game is like twice the size of Spider-Man.
Now the thing is that at the end of the first Spider-Man game that Insomniac did, there was the hint of the symbiote because spoilers here, guys. The final cutscene is Norman Osborn going into a secret lab. Now Harry is supposed to be overseas in Europe. He's not. He's actually in this tube.
Yeah.
Covered in the symbiote.
Oh.
What looks like the symbiote.
So Harry's Venom.
Potentially, maybe. I don't know.
Or something possibly happens where
the symbiote gets out.
Somebody gets out and he goes.
Because this is the thing. It's like Venom is Eddie Brock.
Yeah, Venom's Eddie Brock.
Venom is always going to be Eddie Brock for me, and I don't care what anyone says about anything else. It's like, no, the reason why Venom is the way he is because the interaction that the symbiote has with Spider-Man, and then combining with Eddie
Brock's hatred for Spider-Man.
Yeah, like that's the thing that makes Venom the way Venom is. So I don't care what anyone says.
But yeah, apparently it's going to be quite big.
Yeah,
and quite a big game.
I'm gonna basically say this.
If it's co-op.
Yeah.
If it's co-op, I think it will be one of those like, yes, I'll have to get that with you, just because I want to race from one side of the map to the other.
Oh, from like one point in Manhattan to the other.
Yeah, or like we start at one point and we have to get to the Avengers Tower.
Oh no! Avengers Tower. To the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that sort of crap. That's the stuff.
That's the stuff we want to do.
Yeah,
Avengers Tower. Tower to the Statue of Liberty. You're on.
There's a bank robbery going on. I'm sorry, I'm racing to feck off.
Yeah.
You can deal with it. It's fine. I believe in you.
I believe in you, NYPD. I believe in you.
I need to beat Magpie to the top of the line.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have to do
Plus
that.
the amount of team-ups in that. And I think anything of... I mean, at least what we've seen of Gotham Knights has shown that it can work.
Yeah, you can do it. It's just got to put in the time and effort.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, the same with Gotham Knights. Like, they already have a working, viable combat system.
Yeah.
That potentially doesn't need to do that much to make it work in a co-op level, because it works so well.
I think
obviously we don't code, and therefore we don't know what the implications of adding a second player would do.
Yeah.
It would probably do a lot. But like, co-op gameplay in fighting games has been going on for a while now. Like, it's not new.
I think this is just this and I think Gotham Knights are going to be the first, if they work, first like brawling open world games.
Yeah, possibly
that's been co-op.
with that style of combat,
Yeah.
with the counter mechanic.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Arkham fighting,
it is,
but it is. Arkham was the Batman. Arkham.
Look, they made
Batman Arkham Asylum. Batman Arkham Asylum is the genre that made it popular. Therefore, that's why it's called.
Those guys, they made a almost perfect combat system.
Yes.
So you know what? Give them the credit they deserve.
If they can make it work in a co-op, if they can do it and make it work in a combat, and the fact that like Spider-Man,
Peter Parker
and Miles, not only do they fight differently, but also the way a Spider-Man fight goes, it's like it does go from close up to miles apart, which means it gives a little bit more leeway to co-op. So, I'm hoping, but it's one of those where it's like, as long as they can get it to work, then put it in. But don't force it in and rush it and like. I
do get the
and
feeling.
Also, Insomniac, you're doing an awful lot of stuff.
Wolverine, they've not even started on Wolverine.
Yeah.
So
because there's Wolverine, Spider-Man, and I want to say one of the other games.
Ratchet and Clank has just come out. And apparently there is going to be DLC for it.
Yeah. So like Insomniac, don't. I hope you're not overworking your staff. Okay. You seem to be doing a lot. Anyway, but yeah, the fact that Venom's the apparently the main villain. I have a feeling Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, maybe also, because you can't have a Spider-Man game with one villain. It's just not going to work.
Not an open world Spider-Man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if at some point Doc Ock gets out, because I actually like this Doc Ock. He's actually I really do enjoy the whole dynamic between Peter and Octavius. Actually, I don't. There was a lot of the villains I saw, and I was like, you know what? I don't. These are quite good representations.
I'm hoping that Miles can get like some villains.
I mean, he's got some. He's got some from his game, because I don't think there's a lot of overlap between the villains. I need to play the game to be able to be 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure Ultimate Spider-Man, when Miles Morales took over that comic as Spider-Man, they had a bunch of villains for him. And there's also a lot of villains that haven't been shown yet in the game. So, like, you know, we could have Kraven the Hunter. We could have Michael Morbius.
Oh, actually, it wouldn't surprise me, because Morbius is the
movie's coming out soon. So
it wouldn't surprise me if you did.
And they could pull a lot of B-lister Marvel villains, because a lot of them are based in New York.
Well, most of Marvel, especially from like when Spider-Man, when Spider-Man was at his height, everything was set in New York.
Yeah.
Mainly because Stan Lee's from New York, so he just based everything where he knew.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The first Spider-Man game from Insomniac was really good. They nailed the combat and the traversing perfectly. Also, like, I do want to play Miles Morales on the PS5 because I want to see if they took off the max speed. Because in the PS4 Spider-Man, he's limited to a max speed because that's how fast the game can load what's in front of him. Obviously, the PS5 can do that much faster.
Yeah.
So I'm literally like, I want to go as fast as possible. I want to see his Spider-Man as fast as possible. I want terminal velocity Spider-Man. That's what I want.
I want to go so fast that his suit rips off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then from that, we went on to probably the big headliner. We got
Dad of War.
We got Dad of War. Loki is grown up a little bit.
He's clearly a teenager now.
Yeah, he's a teenager now.
And clearly is of the I'm supposed to be this important thing. Let me be this important thing.
Yeah.
And
Kratos is like, no, trust me, you don't want to go down that road. I did that. I did the whole Destiny thing. You don't want to. Trust me, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's like my pantheon is now a hellscape of death and destruction, with a certain goddess being a righteous little prick. Let's be honest, Athena is a bitch.
We saw a little bit of Thor. I mean, we saw his hand and his.
I don't think that was Thor.
It's Thor.
You sure?
It's Thor.
Was it confirmed?
Yeah. They've actually shown a picture of Thor.
Right.
It's Thor.
No, it's just with the cape.
Yeah.
And I've not seen in the game Thor with a cape. And I was like, wait, hold on. In Norse mythology, the only one I know for certain that has a cape is Odin.
It's Odin. No, it's Thor. It's because of the hammer. It's Thor. They've shown pictures of him and stuff like that. He's a little bit more akin to actual Norse mythology Thor than
a person who likes his booze.
A lot of people were sort of like a little bit confused by the pictures, and
because he's got a beer belly.
He doesn't have. He's got a beer belly. He doesn't have blonde hair. He's got a big wig. Yeah, that's what he actually looks like.
In Norse mythology, Thor likes the booze.
He's
like a lot of the shit he gets into is because he's drunk.
He's a drunk.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Thor not having a six-pack is like, this, and like, the thing with Santa Monica is that they do actually go closer to mythology than a lot of like Western depictions. Like Zeus being an absolute bastard is actually quite. It's like Zeus actually is that much of an asshole.
Yeah.
He's not the good old lovey daddy that Disney wants you to think.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone they misportrayed the most, it was probably Hades.
Yeah.
Because Hades is like, look, I've got Persephone. I mean, I had to kidnap her from the land of living, but that's because I'm not allowed to actually go up there.
Yeah.
But she's actually kind of happy. I mean, she only goes up every 6 months because, her mother...
She's allowed to go up in the summer.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like the cold, so she comes down here.
Well, no, it's hot. That's the thing. That's the reason why winter exists, because Persephone comes down to hell.
Yeah.
She comes down to the underworld, and her mother literally goes, "Nothing is growing while Persephone's." Like that is the story of why there's a winter.
Yeah.
Because Hades kidnapped Persephone. And then is it? Oh, who's the mother? It's
Hera.
No.
I should know this because I did Greek. Like I've done
Greek mythology.
I've done Greek mythology, Norse mythology, and
Greek
Egyptian.
and Egyptian mythology are like your thing.
I've done a song. I should know this. This is killing me now.
It's
because Ubisoft's fucking immortal fucking game made me throw up with its fucking mythology shit that it's got in there. It's terrible. Anyway, yeah.
But her mother is like the goddess of growth and harvest and all that, and she basically has a massive temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it mildly.
Yeah.
She's not happy. Let's all be honest with that. She's just not very happy that her daughter has to go to the underworld, and therefore winter comes. Anywho, Ragnarok looks really good.
We get a sea of we see Kratos in like is more Norse armor.
Yeah.
Than in the first one, because in the first one he wore a little bit, but he looked much more. He looked like Kratos with a beard.
Yeah.
That's basically what.
Yeah, it looks like he's more like settled into the.
And this one looks a lot more wintry.
Yeah.
Than the last one.
Also, it looks like the beginnings of Ragnarok is happening. Like the ice is enveloping the different realms.
Yeah. Which means I think it's Seta. Seta is the one who's supposed to come and destroy
the snake.
Valhalla.
Is it the snake or the wolves? The wolves.
No, the wolf.
Because they're both the wolf and the snake are both involved in Ragnarok. I think the snake is supposed to basically eat the tree of life. Yggdrasil. And the wolf is supposed to do anything, and Loki is supposed to be the god that starts that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there's one thing I've noticed on social media is there have been some idiots complaining about the animations for the boat is exactly the same from the last God of War.
But the boat's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm literally but it works.
Plus, it also It also makes sense. Kratos just wants to be a guy who lives in his hut in the woods.
Yeah.
Why would he want a big, expensive boat?
No, the one about the animations. The animations are the same. And I'm literally the animation works perfectly. Why would you have changed any of that?
Well, you're not going to automatically, I'm going to, you know what, I'm not going to row the boat the way you're supposed to row it this time. I'm just going to take my chains of chaos.
No. What they're saying is they're using, the bit where
they're reusing
animations. And I'm but if the animation is perfect, and there's nothing wrong with it.
It's like a mini loading screen. Why do you care?
Yeah, it's. I don't understand. It's not like they're using the same animation. It's not like
It's not like Madden,
which uses the same broken animation over and over and over and over and over again, or FIFA that uses the same broken animation over and over and over and over again.
It's like 3 seconds, guys. Come on.
It's a very fluid, perfectly working animation that has no issues.
Plus, that was only one screen. How do we know that later on in the game the animation changes?
Yeah. Also, I'm literally it's like the argument when people compare. There's a classic scene in Winnie the Pooh and Jungle Book. And it's Mowgli and Christopher Robin, and they literally are doing the exact same motions through this scene. And people are going, "Oh, isn't that copyright?" Well, one, they're both owned by Disney, so therefore, no. It's not. And two, it's the Christopher Robin. I can't remember which one's the earlier, the Jungle Book or the Winnie the Pooh, but the animation, there's nothing wrong with the animation. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
so are you going to spend thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on doing a new animation for the same action? Or are you going to save time and money to do the same action?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And spend that money that you save on something that actually fucking matters. God's sake. It's just like...
But, the argument for the Jungle Book and the Christopher Robin thing is they were hand-drawn. So most likely it's just the same guy drawing the animation.
But can you imagine, the point is, though, why would you... If you've got something that works perfectly fine, absolutely perfectly fine, right? And there are no issues, we're not talking about, Madden NFL 21, where everyone complained that you haven't changed the fucking celebration for 5 fucking years. And you've used the same animation over and over and over and over and over again.
And you've charged me $60.
And you've charged me $60 for it, right? And the game is broken as fucking hell. Right? This is not that situation.
No.
This is a damn good game, God of War.
Ooh.
With a very, 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 very good animation from traversing from land into a boat on the water. Why would they spend the time and money making a new animation to replace something that works really well?
Yeah, I know.
in a game that works.
It's just madness.
Really well.
But anyway, God of War looks really cool.
It does. Looks really, really cool.
Kratos looks badass. Again.
Kratos does look really badass. He does still look like the full on like tired of everything.
Yeah, I don't want to do
It's
this.
like I'm done with being involved in gods, their plans and all that sort of stuff. Like, I don't want to be involved in this. Yeah. I'm literally like, I just want me and my son to be left alone and happy, and you gods can do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it doesn't involve us. And we all know that's not gonna happen.
So, well, I mean, he did kill Thor's brother.
Yes,
so
and I think Freya's pissed because
it's her
son.
So because there's a scene where she's attacking them.
Yeah, she's attacking them, and I'm literally like, look, Freya, he was gonna kill you. I mean, yes, you probably would have accepted that, but Kratos knows what happens when a god dies.
Yeah.
When an actual god of an actual thing, which your son wasn't necessarily, like...
Yeah, he just couldn't feel any pain because you put a curse on him.
Yeah, Freya's the god of hunting and... what else?
I think it's like nature.
Nature, yeah. Can you imagine if the god of nature died? Like, that's a bad thing. Kratos has seen what happens when the god of something dies. Really, really, really bad things happen.
But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this chat.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok looks really, really good. Because
I will be getting it on release. It just like I enjoyed.
You're probably going to play God of War.
I'm probably actually going to play God of War again. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't blame you. But anyway, yeah, that's like I say, it's not been the most impressive Sony play, but
there wasn't anything.
It's above average.
There wasn't anything that like, oh my god, they're doing that sort of thing for me.
It was above average,
but it was a decent one.
There was a lot of cool things.
And to be fair, Sony didn't exactly say that they've got massive surprises or anything. And I think everybody knew God of War was going to be shown.
Yeah. The only thing is like we didn't see anything from Software, and I'm literally like, okay, what's your new game? What is your new game you're working on? I know you're working on Elden Ring, but
I think we're not going to find out.
You said Elden Ring, and following that is going to be a different game, but you didn't say what type of different game, and everyone's literally like, is it Bloodborne? And I'm like, is it Armored Core? I know there's a small but significant people going, please just give us another Armored Core, please.
There's a tiny fan base.
I just want to build a mech with a bunch of numbers that I do not understand.
I just want to build a giant robot and put a rocket on its shoulder and fire at things.
That's all I want.
That's all I want in life. But anyway, it was pretty decent. It was all right. But yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.